Hi everyone, it's great to be here today, and we've got Nathan Jones from the Melbourne Football Club, who's the co-captain of the Melbourne Football Club. We've also got Stewie Totem, who is the AFLNT CEO. This big game coming up this weekend between Melbourne and the Adelaide Crows, and this marks 10 years of the Melbourne Football Club coming to Darwin or coming to Alice Springs and supporting the NT in football. It's a great initiative, and it's one we're very proud of. It supports a lot of our fans, it supports a lot of our local businesses and our local economy. So, and we also, the Melbourne Football Club also do a lot of things for our kids out there with the clinics they run, and it also creates a lot of jobs in the territory. So get your tickets. There's the grandstand. I'm hearing is nearly sold out. It's a great partnership between the AFL, NT, and the Melbourne Football Club and the NT government, and it's a partnership we want to continue, and it's great for the NT. So get your tickets. The NT Thunder will also be playing the opening game as well. So get down and support your local NT Thunder team. Any questions? Oh, good.
Nathan, how's it feel to be back?
Oh, it's good. The weather's obviously beautiful. We left Melbourne. Would have been only maybe 10 degrees. So to wake up this morning and walk around in some shorts and a t-shirt and have a run around, boys are excited to be up here in some warm weather.
Obviously, big long plane flight, I suppose. How's everyone feeling after the flight?
Pretty good. We got in sort of 9:30ish, 10 o'clock last night. Bit of tucker and into bed, and wake up this morning feeling pretty good. Have a run around out here today, and it's still a while to the game really, so plenty of time to prepare and limber up. But boys are feeling good.
The Crows as well. I mean, what have you sort of been considering for taking on them this week? What have you been sort of tidying up in preparation?
Look, we've got a little bit of work to do. The first 3 quarters of last week didn't really resemble any of the footy that we wanted to play, but I reckon if you look at probably the last month as a whole, we've made some significant inroads in terms of improving as a side and getting back the brand of footy that we'd become accustomed to, and so we'll look to get that back. We saw signs of that in the late in the game last week, and particularly around the contest and in defence, that'll have to be right on tomorrow night to give ourselves a chance.
Are you surprised, Nathan, that it has been a bit of a disappointing year for the Demons after last year? Are you surprised at what's transpired?
I'm not surprised. I think I've got some real perspective on the whole thing personally, but I understand that the game's made up of really small margins, and sometimes you get it right and sometimes you don't. So I think what we've done is really refined what we can control over the last month in particular, and got back some, as I said before, the sort of the brand of footy that we've become accustomed to. And it's been disappointing. Obviously, you want to get the wins on the board, but I think if you look deeper than that, we're sort of trying to take small wins each week to get back the form that we know we can play.
What about your own form, Nathan? There's been, with all respect, there's been some questions that you haven't been playing as well this year.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of different roles. I think that's probably the point that's been missed. I've spent time at half-back, time on the wing, time inside. So, I think a lot of the time the criticism comes by judging statistics, but I think you have to look deeper than that. Personally, it doesn't really bother me. I listen to the coaching group and the people around me that are important and know the role and position that I'm playing for the team, and ultimately that's all that really matters to me.
Nathan, what's it going to do for the Deeds' momentum to be the top 8 side?
I think that's important. I think it's more important just to get a full 4-quarter effort of the brand of footy that we're trying to play. Ultimately, we want to win. There's no doubt about that, but it's sort of a step at a time, and we've got work cut out tomorrow night. They'll be fired right up as well after a couple of disappointing weeks on their behalf. So should make for a really good game, and it's a very important one in the context of our year.
Have you enjoyed? A few people out in the past few rounds. What's going to be the sign to have people come back this week?
Yeah, I think that's vitally important. I reckon Goody mentioned that after the game last week was around getting some of the cavalry back, and we did make a few changes this week, and I think that particularly around our defence shores up with Salo and Hibbo back, and I reckon Mitchie Hannon as well. I think he sort of adds another dimension to our forward line, and a really important one to create the right mix down there. And over the next couple of weeks, hopefully we're going to see Stevie May, Jake Lever, and these types as a handful of other guys that are sort of on the mend and will hopefully bolster our list and the health of our group. And if we can couple that with finding some consistent form, I think we should be in a pretty good position, hopefully.
Would it mean something getting that win in your home away from home as well?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. We love playing up here, and obviously I've been a part of it 10 years now. Is that sort of partnership, and I've had some good success up here, and I think the most important thing for us to make it that home away from home is embracing it. And as I said, it couldn't come at a better time considering the weather in Melbourne. So it's nice to come up here and get some sunshine and get away as a group, and more importantly, play some good footy together.
Is it hard work playing? Is it hard work playing 100 minutes or 120 minutes of footy when it is 30 degrees?
Well, it's very different. There takes some preparation for it. There's no doubt about that, and probably on the backside of it, a lot of recovery as well. So, it's an important, phase for the group when we do come up here with the travel and the heat and those kind of things. But as I said, I think a lot of it comes back to the mentality, and as a group and as a footy club over the last 10 years, we've embraced that. And there's a lot of things that go on outside the game itself that are very important to us and the government and the AFL. But we love that and we embrace that, and we've enjoyed the last few years in particular playing up here and in Alice, and we've had some success in doing so.
How have you
important is
noticed
it to keep, building that fan base up here and engaging with them every year when you do come up here?
It's very important to us. Obviously, NT Tourism being a sponsor, and the efforts that go into it, the importance of this or the last couple of rounds in the Sir Doug Nicholas round, and the importance to the Indigenous boys, and expressing their culture and history, and exposing not only them and their communities to it, but also boys that don't understand it or get, obviously we're in a privileged position to get a greater understanding of it and be able to set a really important example to the wider community.
And over the years, how has the crowd and the atmosphere here changed?
Yeah, it's a different vibe, but one that we really love being a part of. Really, it's a little bit sort of like local footy, but the energy. Obviously, the community up here loves footy. It's a real heartbeat of what they are, their identity, and to have obviously an AFL game up here. From what it was when I first played here, I think it was might have been a NAB Cup game back in might have been my first year. I reckon I played up here. To what it is now, obviously the development of the facilities and the stadium, and the amount of people that come along and support it as well. It makes for a great night.
If you look back at all on the game in Alice Springs last year, what you were able to do then, and pick up any lessons from there?
Oh, we were running pretty hot that day, and we were playing obviously really good footy as a side. I think probably looking back at that shows what we are capable of. But yeah, I think there's some. Oh, that was lucky. Might have had another broken nose. But I think if we can get back to, I think we have shown glimpses of that form over the last month, in particular. And we sort of fought our way back into that sort of form late last week. So if we can carry that through, I'm hoping for a result similar to that. But as I said, I think the fundamentals of our game have to really come together, and we'll have our work cut out. There's no doubt.
So you've been coming here for 10 years. Do you feel a pretty personal connection to the place now?
Yeah, I think, as I said before, being exposed to the Indigenous boys that we have on our list, their stories, and the guys that I've played with in the past. Probably the most prominent one up here for me would be Austin Wanamiri, and the connection that obviously he had to the footy club, his family, Tiwi Bombers, and all that. I was lucky enough to really get entrenched into most of that and get a great understanding of that. And I think it's vitally important with the, the messages behind the Indigenous round over the last couple of weeks, that we expose everyone to the importance of the culture and what it actually means to these boys. And as I said, I think for someone like me who doesn't have that history, I think it's a real privilege to be exposed to that and to get a greater understanding of that. And I think it sets a terrific example for the community. Sweet.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
I'll just keep it nice and brief. But on behalf of the AFL, we'd really like to thank the Northern Territory Government for their support of AFL football in the Territory. These games are really important community events, and the public in Darwin and Alice really get behind them. And also a big thank you to the Melbourne Footy Club for their commitment to the Territory as well. In its 10th year, it's been fantastic to have such a big Melbourne club commit to playing the 2 games in Darwin. So really appreciate it and looking forward to the weekend of footy.
Nathan was saying he's been coming here for 10 years. Do you hope in 10 years' time we might have our own AFL team to play against the D's?
Yeah, look, that will be a nice dream. And as we know, we're doing that scoping study at the moment, which is looking at the possibility of an AFL team in the Northern Territory and what that may look like and how that might work. So an exciting project for us, and we're looking forward to the outcome of that report shortly. Yep. Thank you.